Hello today. I hope you guys are having a great day. So today's video is about discernment. Spirit said that I should make a video about discernment, and that is also a topic personal to me because Spirit has been working with me for the past couple of weeks on discernment. And I didn't really put it all together that I was supposed to make a video about it until a little while ago. But for the past couple of weeks, I've been getting lessons about discernment and various things that I've seen that, and even dreams and stuff. And when I thought about it today, I realized, after I saw a video today that I'll discuss in a minute, I realized that that's what it is. All of these scenarios are all about discernment. And so, how does that relate to clairsentience? When you're not clairvoyant, or when your third eye hasn't opened yet, how are you able to discern something, a spirit, say, a high vibrational one from a low vibrational one? Okay. And the reason I bring up particularly clairsentience, because there are a lot of videos about being clairvoyant, and there are a lot of videos about seeing spirits and seeing demons, seeing ghosts, and there are a few videos on YouTube about how to discern the spirits you're seeing, if they're good or bad. But not a lot of videos I've seen about clairsentience and how that relates to discernment of spirits. So because I'm an empath and I'm clairsentient, so I truly believe I have both of these gifts and other gifts, but primarily clairsentience, claircognizance a lot, and empathy are my primary gifts, I would say, spiritual gifts or spiritual abilities. And I also have a bit of clairaudience, a little bit of clairvoyance. So my third eye is opening, but it's not opened all the way. So, in other words, I can see auras around people. I can sometimes see spirits around people. I can see energy in the air. I can see things moving around in the room, sparkly lights. I see things when I close my eyes, as well as when my eyes are open. That said, so I believe I'm clairvoyant. My third eye is open, but I don't believe it's open all the way, and that's because I wasn't meditating for a long, long time. And recently I decided to meditate, and I've been doing so every day, and I've been instructed by Spirit to do it outside in the sunshine. And so back to today's topic. This video is about discernment and how an empath or a clairsentient person can discern spirits, or one of the ways, I guess, of discerning the energy that is around you. That energy could be residual energy left over from an event, or it could be a dead person, or it could be an evil spirit, or someone sort of nefarious spirit. You know what I mean? So it could be a lot of things. It could even be a thought form that's very strong. It could be a lot of things. And so when you're opening up your abilities, when you're opening up to the metaphysical spiritual world, it's kind of like you're kind of afraid to open up all the way because of the various stories that you hear and read in stories and in social media too. And because you've had some experiences yourself and it's kind of scared you because you were unfamiliar with what it meant. So you kind of closed down. And that's not what we want to do when we're trying to hone our clairvoyant or spiritual gifts and abilities. We can't shut down and ask God to help us become more clear at the same time. It's not going to work. So we need to get rid of that fear. And one of the ways we can get rid of the fear is by having the knowledge of discernment. Okay. And so this video is for those of us who don't have our third eyes entirely opened yet in terms of being able to see and talk to spirits in a visual manner. So one of the things that happens to me when I'm in a meditation mode or when I'm communicating with God or Jesus, Yeshua, or even Archangel Michael or one of the archangels, one of the ways that I discern or know this is the way that I feel. And I'm talking feel as in physical sensation and feel as in emotional body sensation. So, for instance, the most discernible energy that I pick up at any one point in time is that of Yeshua, Jesus. His energy is more discernible to me than any other energy I've encountered thus far. Certain things happen whenever he comes around that have nothing to do with what I want to do or anything. For instance, I know he comes around because there's just no question. Every cell in your entire body has the knowing that he is in front of you. So your entire body, mind, body, spirit, emotions, your cells, your skin, everything responds the minute he shows up. The minute he projects his energy towards you, your whole body responds. And what happens with me is water shoots out of my eyes like a faucet. I could be in any state of mind. I could be happy, I could be pissed, I could be confused, I could be afraid, I could be just sitting there bored, and water will come shooting out of my eyes the minute Jesus comes into the room. And I will become in a state of what I call like a kind of a state of ecstasy in a way, where sometimes I spontaneously start reciting prayers. Sometimes I just just like to just stay there in his energy and do nothing but just stay there. And however, sometimes he does communicate to me. And so I have this knowing, excuse me. So I have this knowing deep in my very being, in my very core, that he's around because of the various things that happen. I also see visually behind my when my eyes are closed, I see a flashing strobe light that looks like a giant golden white light, and the edges of it are like they flash and shimmer, and it makes it look like a strobe, but it's just because they're so glistening and shimmering like a golden white light. And the love that he has is really what you feel immediately, because he's all about love. His is a very recognizable energy because it's very love forward. And so I know when he comes around. Now, I've had this experience with him enough times that now I've memorized that feeling. So I wouldn't even have to see anything flashing or any lights. If I were just to feel that energy, I would know it was him. So I don't need to see anything. And for a while I wasn't seeing anything, but I felt him. You know what I mean? So now I'm actually seeing more when he's around and feeling. So that's discerning the spirit. Now you can do certain things, certain things to kind of ensure whether or not you're talking to an enlightened or high vibrational being or a low vibrating being in two ways. By the way that you set up your intention when you begin to meditate, and when you're in the meditation and you come upon a being, there are certain things you can test, or certain things I do anyway that you might want to try. And so before my meditation, whenever I'm going to meditate, or whenever I'm going to try to open up my third eye, whatever spiritual practice that you do, whatever metaphysical practice that you do, I always like to just call in and state who I want to deal with. And I also make very clear in the beginning that I will not deal with anyone else but the following. And I say God, and I clarify which God. I clarify that it's the God of the Bible. I clarify that it's the creator of all that there is. I clarify that it is the original love and light. It is the creator of all that is seen and all that is unseen, because there are other creator beings or other beings who consider themselves the creator, but he is the one true creator, the Holy of Holies, the God of the Bible, the God that Jesus talks about. That's the God that I'm talking to. And so I do that every single time. Then I go from there, meaning sometimes I'll want to talk to Jesus. Sometimes I'll want to work with Archangel Michael. Sometimes I'll want to just meditate and see if I get symbols or letters or anything from my higher self or from Jesus or anything like that. And that's only who I talk to. And I state that no lower vibrational energy or being has any permission to influence me, attach to me, or anyone that I know or love. And once I say that, I'm good to go. And now the second thing I usually do, I don't do it every time, but I do it most of the time, is I call in Jesus too. I call Yeshua. And when I say I call him, what I do actually is I start to get into this mode of thanking him for what he's done for the world. And once I do that, he immediately shows up. And once he immediately shows up, and I know that it's him, because of these various things I described, then I start to ask any questions that I have that I want an answer to. Or if I'm not asking him questions, I'm maybe asking for a healing. Or sometimes, to be honest, I just like to just sit with them. Just sit. Because it feels that good. And just hang out. Like we're at the park. You know what I mean? Like literally just sit. Because it's the best feeling. It's like being in a spa. He laughs, but it's like being in a spa. And I like that feeling. Not that I'm using you as a spa. I sound crazy because I'm talking to Jesus right now. So I'm sorry if you don't like watching crazy people or people that you think that are crazy, but you can go to another channel if you, but yeah, so he was laughing, actually. He was chuckling because I was saying I was using him as a spa. So so I saw a video today, and that is the video that made me make this video. Because while I was watching this 25-minute video, I kept getting all this information from Spirit, from God, while I was watching this video. So the video was about an encounter with a demon that this young woman was talking about, her encounter with a demon, and she was describing what happened. Her encounter was with this young girl, and it was in a place of worship, actually, where she encountered this being. It was in a place of worship. And so, she just happened to be there alone. And so she's describing every nuance of her experience with this person. And as she's describing it, I myself am going, oh my God, how scary. Yes, I could tell she was telling the truth. I just knew she was telling the truth, that this was her experience. However, for all intents and purposes, it seemed like she was dealing with a demon. But I kept getting from God that this wasn't a demon that this young woman had encountered. That it was a dead young woman who had committed suicide by jumping off a cliff or jumping in the water in some way, like off something into the water, to her death, and she drowned. And she, clearly this woman, before she jumped, she was very depressed and very in a dark place. Anyway, this young woman in this place of worship who ran into this dead young woman was having an encounter with a dead person. Apparently this young woman was vibrating at such a high level because she was in this place that she was able to see this spirit that was in this church. The spirit came in the church, of course, because the spirit was trying to find the light and not to destroy the light. She was trying to find the light to heal. And this woman's description of the spirit girl that she was seeing, you know, the girl looked normal except something in her eyes was very scary. And I was being told by God that this was not a demon, that this was a girl that had committed suicide, that was stuck and had not crossed over. And not only had she not crossed over, she was still in her depressive state, just a blank, soulless, dark state. And that was mistaken for being a demonic person. Now, and I was understanding that if this young woman would have chosen to, and would have felt comfortable enough to, and had enough knowledge to, she could have crossed this spirit over into the light if she had, if she decided that she wanted to work with God to do that. And because the spirit was looking for something. And so, yeah, I was surprised when I learned that this wasn't a demon, because I myself would have leapt to that conclusion, especially after seeing someone else's video saying that that's what it was. I mean, it just seemed like it was. I knew she wasn't lying, so I just leapt that she wasn't lying about the demon either. But that part, she wasn't, she wasn't used to having these experiences. This was her first experience like that. So naturally, I'm not dissing this girl. I'm just saying, naturally anyone would have a hard time discerning that. I would too. I mean, it's hard, right? But Spirit gave me a sentence today when I was pondering this. And it said that discernment, true discernment, always starts off in an objective place. In other words, an objective place. You have to start in an objective place before you can start to discern something. In other words, you've got to get rid of the fear, the surprise, the elation, any kind of emotional coloring or expectation. You got to get rid of it. Get rid of your expectation. Get rid of your emotional coloring, your fear. I'm not saying, people confuse get rid of your fear. Like you're saying, give into it. Come in me, spirit. No. That's not what I mean. When I say get rid of your fear, I'm saying protect yourself, but know that God is with you. Know that you are a strong enough being of light that you don't need to fear this. That's what that means by get rid of your fear. It means you really have to ask God to work with you inside so you can get to know yourself so well that you can start to manage your irrational fears, okay? Those are the fears I'm talking about, the irrational fears, okay? Which is different than that fear thing that pops up when there is a truly evil spirit. That's different. You don't want to get rid of that fear. And that's not what I'm talking about, okay? A lot of Christians always think that that's what I'm talking, they always make these videos and they're like, and this person says, yeah, just get rid of your fear. Yeah, demons, come on into me. No, that's not what we're talking about. Jesus, it just drives me nuts. Like, because we're all trying to get there. These Christians and me and other people, we're all agreeing really on some level. It's just that we're going about it in different ways, and we're getting caught up in the drama and the warring aspect of it. Like we're all so based in this way of thinking that if I oppose your way of thinking, then I have to battle it. I have to battle you. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's your ego. That's that warring evilness coming out. No. When you don't agree with someone, you just keep it moving and do your light duties. That's what you do. You do your preaching. You attract more lambs. You don't start being distracted by the darkness and go to war with this person. That's a distraction. Even to you Christians. Get back on the track and go for the light. And if you want to get others on the light with you, do so. But you can't do so when you're trying to focus to discredit someone. That's your ego and negative energy. You're spending your spiritual energy on stupidity when you could be focusing it on something that Jesus wants. Okay? That's the message that he's trying to say to some people who get distracted. And please don't think I'm dissing Christians, because I do this too. When I started this video, I said that I've been having these experiences for the past 2 weeks of discernment, meaning I've been going through some big ass changes in myself because I've been that way. I just like you. We're all the same. We all, it's all about bettering ourselves and holding up a magnifying glass to ourselves, not to other people. To ourselves. That's the way to the new earth. That's the way to 5D. Judging other people and holding up a magnifying glass to see who's doing what wrong, guess whose path that is? Guess whose path that is? Right. You know what path that is because you can feel it. Okay? It's a distraction path that is tricking you. Okay? It's tricking you into thinking that's the righteous path, but it's not. Remember who you're dealing with. Okay? He's smarter than us. Darkness, you know who I'm talking about. Okay? Darkness isn't stupid. Okay? Remember that. It's smarter than you even. Okay? Get your ego out of the way. Distractions. I'm the queen of distractions. That's why I had to get these experiences pounded into me. Boom, boom, boom. So I could learn. Because I'm the one who comes out of the ring fighting. That's who I am. I fight for the underdog. I fight for righteousness. I like to go to battle. I like to win. That's not the way. Okay? Because it's a distraction. The enemy likes that. He knows your ego, and he likes to distract you so you can spend all your light in this direction and get off the track that you were on before, which is spreading your light to others who don't have it. And spreading your love to others who don't have it. Not battling and judging others. That is the message that he was trying to convey. He's been working with me to convey that into my thick, battle-mongering, born in the hood, Hispanic, bad temper person that I am. I can't come at you of a place where I've never had those emotions, and so you should do what I'm doing. I've had those emotions. I've been that asshole many times. And that's, God tells me I can relate. And that's why sometimes he chooses people like me who are not at all squeaky clean to deliver his message. I'm starting to cry because he's like, he's very appreciative. So that was the message. And empaths, they kick all kinds of ass, and empaths always get a bad rap, and we empaths give ourselves a bad rap. Empaths are seen as the not by awakened people, they're not seen as this, but by a lot of people, empaths are seen as weak, the weaker ones, because we're all about feelings and emotions and love, and therefore we're weaker, we're not strong. Bullshit. God tells me that empaths are the power, because empaths know already what others do not know. And they tell me that there are even some people whose third eye is open all the way, who can be misled even if they believe they are seeing and speaking to someone of a higher nature. Because if they were to tune in, some of them, to the way they feel, they would be able to sense. And so never assume, never make a leap, never make a logical leap, never assume because someone else is telling you, never assume because that's the way your family grew up. You always have to act on your own mind, not anyone else's, because you will be led astray if you follow somebody else's ideas, okay? You have to have conviction, because then you won't be bothered. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that conviction of knowing and finding out for yourself, then you can be swayed by anything and anybody. So that's the message. So you're not weak, you're very, very powerful. And you are way more powerful than any demon. That is the truth. That is truth. That's what they don't want you to understand. And that's what a lot of us don't understand, okay? So that's what God means by do not fear, because you don't have to. If anything, they need to fear you, because you can obliterate these things with your light. Should you choose to focus on that light as a loving energy, not a combative energy. So that's the lesson for us today. And thanks so much. And we will talk to you on the next video. Love you lots. Have a good day. Bye-bye.